on YouTube because of the limited capacity of Zoom.
Oh. Zoom भी खाली है. Zoom भी खाली है.
And so, dear students, welcome back to the module 4 session 1 of universal human values. As you can see from the shared screen, that in module 4 we will be discussing mainly on understanding harmony in the nature and existence. So this module have 3 sessions. First session is today, that is 27th of January. And the next two sessions are on 2nd and 3rd of February. And on 3rd of February, you have a test on this module. Yeah, please mute who's talking. Okay, so today ma'am will be discussing mainly on understanding the harmony in the nature, interconnectedness and mutual fulfillment among the 4 orders of nature, recyclability and self-regulation in nature.
Please mute. Oh.
Okay, I will share this, start sharing the screen. I think.
Yeah, ma'am, you can start. I am stopping the share. Debolina De, please mute yourself.
So can the screen be seen? Is it visible?
Visible.
Okay. So a very good evening to all my respected faculty members and my dear students. Well, I have been given this task to deliver some wisdom to you students based on these classes termed as the universal human values. Now, let me tell you one basic thing before I go into the depth of whatever is there for today's discussion is, well, this is a sort of a spiritual discussion, and I would please, excuse me, please mute. Those of you who are talking, please, yes.
Bonusri Ghosh.
Right, okay. So as I was telling you, let me tell you one basic truth, that I am not a spiritual person, okay? But I do love learning from nature, and each and every day I try and learn, not very purposefully, of course, but I do observe and take in whatever much I can, whatever good I see in others, especially the nature that is around us. So today we will be discussing basically on the interconnectedness and the self-regulation and mutual fulfillment amongst the 4 orders of nature, which we will come to know very soon. But before I go into the depth, let me first tell you this. There are some questions. When do we really learn?
Ma'am, please make it full screen.
Okay. Yes. Is it okay now?
Yes, yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So when do we really start learning about values? Remember, each and every family, they have their own set of values, okay, which may be slightly different from your family next door or your friend's family or one of your relatives' family. So each and every family, they will have certain timings of their taking their meals or some sort of rituals which they perform throughout the day. This will vary from family to family. And when do we really start learning about the human values? And what do we really mean by ethics? Ethics is something that which we think is right at that particular moment and which we should be doing when we are amongst, not only with when we are with ourselves, but when we are with a lot of people around us, a lot of living beings around us, be it animals and also nature. Okay, so I should say that the first values and ethics we learn as a child when we are with our parents or our elders at the dining table, or when we sit for a chat, or in the home surroundings. We also learn about some of the values in life when we are in the playground, when we play with our friends, right? That is when we learn that when we win, it's really joyous. When we do not,
Please mute.
right? So as we when we play, we learn some of our plus points. We come to know ourselves. We come to know our friends. We learn about more values.
Ma'am, give me a minute, ma'am.
Right. So I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So during our playing times, when we play with our friends, when we fly our kites, we not only aspire, we also learn how to adjust with each other, how to adjust with nature where we are playing, and we also put into the field and in the nature and amongst ourselves the values that we have learned. Okay, so now how are these values really delivered to us? They are not read out from some books. They are not, sometimes, yes, some scriptures are read out, but most of the times we learn about these values from our elders, from their action, from the action and interactions with other people, our surroundings, our teachers, our neighbors, and people of all age groups. For example, if we were dealing or talking to a child, we would talk in a certain manner. When we are talking to an elderly person, our teacher, we will have some other kind of mannerisms. And if we are dealing with a person who is under some ailment, who is sick, then we will have some other kind of mannerisms of talking. So where did we really learn all this? So as we grow up, it's not only from the family, it's not only from the field, our friends, but under teachers, we keep on learning about these values even through nature. Okay, and the more we accept, the more we learn. How do we really accept? Well, sometimes we don't really accept it well. We think, well, what is told to us is not fair. Then what is best done is, at a certain stage, the best thing done is discussion. So we can go in for some discussion. You may have your plus points, your elder person may have their plus points, and sometimes it may also be that the person who is trying to tell you something or teach something or deliver something to you may be having some flaws which you will be pointing out. So it is not that the elder person is always saying the right thing and you are always wrong, and you are the person who is always on the other side of the table, always there to learn. It is not that. It is an interactive session through which we all learn. So through this interactive session, we also learn in nature. Okay. And when do we really become mature? Uh, Excuse me. So do I have to let these people waiting in the waiting room in?
No, no, ma'am. Please continue. I'm doing it.
So when you become mature means that you have learned to accept what you cannot change. But is it that you have not tried to change? Say, for example, a person who is sick. Have you not tried to help out that person? You must have. But the conditions and the situation is such that this person may not be able to recover from that particular stage. So you have to accept. And then you have to face the unresolved sorrows. And the most important part is you have to learn to love life as it really happens and not as you would like it to happen. Of course, we really like things to happen to us. So now let's see what happened. Is the slide not changing? Yeah. Okay. So what do we really mean by harmony? Okay. First, it is ourself. We have to see that each one of us, we are contented with our own thoughts. If we are all disturbed, then we are not at harmony. Okay. So the elements in us, anger, faith, love, care, or whatever elements you can define for yourself, unless and until you are in some peace of mind, you will not be in any harmony. Okay. But of course, there will be questions. There will be lots and lots of unanswered questions. There will be lots and lots of wants. But again, there has to be one kind of a discipline or a process through which we can resolve the issues so that we reach a harmonious state. Unless we are at harmony, we cannot be in harmony with the family members. Remember, when a family is in harmony, only then you have a collection of families that make up the society. Only then the society will be in harmony. And on the whole, there will be universal harmony or the global understanding only when. So what do we do really? Actually, we try and achieve these. It is not that a person is always self-satisfied. No, we always strive for better, more better, or something else. So we are not always absolutely contented with ourselves. So what do? We try to achieve. So does the family, so does the society, so does the universe. So this achievement has to be at par with one another so that there is a total balance and the whole of the universe is then, we say, is in some kind of natural harmony. Okay. Now, say we talk, coming back to nature and giving you some examples. If a person is in the form of, sometimes I'm losing this, okay, is just sprouting. So this setup will be needing a particular kind of soil, air, some particular moisture content, definitely some care because it is very, very fragile so that it does not break. If it grows, if you have a member in the family who is a little older, so for that member, this member is able to take in a little bit more of hardship than the sprout. Similarly, if we move on to the age groups, you'll see that when a plant becomes a full grown, then it has learned a lot from the soil, from the air, and from the moisture around, so that its interaction has given rise to a full bloom plant. And now you'll see flowers, you'll see fruits. So this is what happens throughout the life cycle. So when it is in the sprouting form, and then when it starts to grow, it is able to take in more and more and more of hardship. There is a lot of interaction between these elements, but most important of all is the care and the love. This, when we talk about all the 4 divisions of nature, which I will soon come to, you'll see the only most important binding factor is care and love. Okay, so let's see what are the questions in me. So I am very important, that is self. So if I am not satisfied, I will not be able to be in harmony with my family. So what do I really want? This is one very important question. And who am I? This is also very important. How do I achieve?
আজকে আমি 3টে ক্লাস একসাথে করেছি, একটা মিটিং, একটা লন্ডন ইউনিভার্সিটির কোর্সের ক্লাস, আর আমার কলেজের বিএড এর ক্লাস। আমার ল্যাপটপে একটা ক্লাস চলছে।
Okay, so discussing on human values and ethics, I think we need to keep our microphones in the mute form. This is ethics. Okay, so how do I achieve the goals, right? And in order to achieve some goals, what do I need to do? What are the areas I need to explore? Besides, the most important thing which only I will know is that, do I have the ability? Do I have the potential? Do I have that right frame of mind to go forward with whatever I really want? If not, then what is lacking? Whatever is lacking, I will again try to achieve that. And again, I will put myself into this question as to who I am, whether I can achieve it or not. And then I may reframe as to really what I want. So these questions will arise in you. You will solve some, interact with some, and ultimately what emerges is a contented personality. So I am happy with whatever I have achieved till whatever is my time frame. Okay. Then, of course, how do I really achieve these? This is through self-exploration, and I have to, can I move this? Okay. So we have to be in harmony, as I told you, with our family, our society, and the global being. In this interaction, what do I learn? Only do I learn, or what do I give in return? This is also very important. Now let's come to the 4 orders of nature, which we are supposed to know today. That is, first we have the bio order. Okay, where it consists of the trees and the plants around us. We have physical order, that is the soil, the metal, earth, whatever is else, that is the non-living aspect. Then we have the animal and the bird. This is another order. And we have the human being order. Okay, so now if we really have to put these 4 in a stepwise or importance-wise diagram, then maybe we can put it in this kind of an order, where human order stands right on top. Then comes the animal order, then comes the plant order, and then the physical order. You can see the base of the pyramid is the physical order. This is the whole of the earth. You can think of it in this term. And then you have the plant order. Each and every order is dependent on its lower order, also on each other. This is very easy. Of course, you know from the pyramid that we have learned in biology, where human beings, of course, since we have put ourselves here because we think we know the most, you don't know whether this animal order can be placed here or it should be placed here, because we are the ones who think most. Even animals think. We are able to portray our thoughts. We are able to interact and record our interactions. And from time to time, we are able to retake, like your some of your movies and some of your song sessions. You say there's some remake, so we can reproduce again. But animals, maybe they have not been able to, or we do not know whether they are able to. So we have put animal order below human order. Then we have the plant order and we have the physical order. So each and every order that we see here is interactive with each other. And this is how there is harmony in nature. This is how there is survival. Okay, so what are the present day problems, if any? That is this order that I just showed to you, is this a very steady and harmonious setting? There must be some problems if we say that it is not a harmonious setting. So what could be these problems? One is, sometimes you see that we keep on and on using a lot of things from nature without giving back anything to nature. For example, the most popular of all examples is cutting off of the forests and building cities. The plants, we've taken their wood, we've taken the soil. What have we given back? We've built some houses, and we are going to deplete more in the form of water, space. We are going to produce more and more garbage. So we are going to actually create some kind of imbalance in nature. Also, there is another factor, that is pollution. Each time we add a little bit more of pollution, we are making the nature lose its balance. Okay. So how can we human beings participate in the fulfillment of the balance in the entire nature? How can we do it? We can preserve. So if we have, just in the slides before I showed you about some plants, if we have some mode of preservation, if we keep our forests, if at one particular space we need to cut down some trees, can we plant those or do some saplings in some other part so that they grow and they make up for what we have destroyed? Then what we can do is we can enrich whatever we have preserved. Of course, we have to protect, and we excuse me, we have to make the right utilization of nature. Okay. So these are some of the ways in which we can participate in contributing to entire nature. And what is the outcome? What will happen if we really go about with these 4 or 5 policies? We will have prosperity and we will have fulfillment of the human needs. Okay, so this is a little bit on how these orders depend on each other. You can see for yourself. For example, the physical order is to facilitate the existence by enduring environment and maintaining its constitution. For example, the whole of the earth is the physical order, as I told you. Then you have the bio order, which facilitates the growth of seeds and the saplings that means there is reproduction. So this reproduction is not only there in the bio order, it is also there in the higher orders, that is the animal and the human order. Say the animal order, what does this do? It will ensure that there is life. Animals depend on plants. Again, in that chain, which diagram I have not shown here, where from a plant is consumed by an animal, then the animal is consumed by higher animals. So this is how the chain of life goes and the balance is maintained. Of course, then you have the human order, which facilitates care of the body by ensuring physical fitness and the growth of the body so that you can live with continuous happiness and harmony. Okay. Then to sum up, so these were the 4 orders that we learned about. That is the physical order, the bio order, animal order, and the human order. Okay. Can any of you tell me that in case we don't, if we upset this physical order, then what may happen? You can raise your hand. So I don't know whether I will be able to see that.
You can unmute also. Students, you can unmute also.
Ma'am, could you please repeat the question?
Yes. Say that these are the 4 orders that we just talked about. Okay. The physical order, which means the whole of the earth, that is the soil, etc. That is the non-living part of the earth. Then you have the bio orders, where we have the trees and the plants. Then you have the animal order, where you have the animals, birds, and highest of all, you have the human order. So what my question is, supposing you disturb one of the orders, say the physical order, do you think this disturbance happens, or is it always everything is at peace with each other? Always.
Ma'am, as per the understanding about the sessions that you conducted today, so my understanding says that if any of the components of nature is being hampered, whether a bio order or physical or animal one, the whole system will be destroyed because all the things are correlated with each other.
It may not get destroyed at one shot, but
Ma'am, but it is
Some
hampered
hamperness will
in
be
some way.
hampered. Yeah.
Exactly. So now can you tell me, physical order, does it get is there any circumstance where it gets disturbed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, the soil, we know about the soil erosion.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Sometimes the landslides also happen because we try to hamper the soil.
Exactly.
And when
So
it
there
comes
are
to
natural
metals,
disasters.
yes, ma'am.
So
And when it comes to metals are kind of resources which are now extincting because we are because of excessive use. So I think that is also getting hampered in some way.
yes. So when there is a sudden upset in nature, say for example, landslide as you spoke of, or there is some major earthquake, or there's a tsunami, whatever. So there is a sudden upset. Okay. So what happens is nature will try and keep on trying to get back to its ordered state. The sea level, when it rises, it will not remain so. It will recede. It may take some time. When you have your high tide and your low tide, the sea level rises and falls. Or when there is regression and transgression of the sea, it may take years and years for it to get back to its original level. So what happens is there is always the will of nature to go back to its ordered state. Okay, so this is there in science as well when you learn in chemistry, in physics. Now, there is I should have put this diagram. Next day I will show you that the Earth's surface, do you know what it is called? The shape of the Earth?
Ma'am,
It's not spherical. It is not spherical. Okay, pardon? It's called a geoid. The surface, the shape is called a geoid. Okay, So that is the shape. It's some describe it like an orange with a tapered top and a bottom, whatever it is. Now you have mountains, you have seas. So what happens is the average of all these mountains and the average of all the seas, you have a median height as to where all these levels are compensated. You can have a compensated level where all will be at the same level. So what nature does is all the high mountains, they erode and they are brought down to the level of that geoid. It is a continuous process. Does this mean that one day we'll get a very smooth surface of the earth? It is not that. There are other calamities that take place. There is, you must have heard of plate tectonics, where plates move and again mountains rise. So in one place, if there is erosion, another place, there will be some kind of a building up. So there is always a balance that is in the run, that is always going on in the process, which sums up to bring about a total balance in nature. And when I say what we learn from nature, I think in my next stage talk, I will show you some very concrete examples as to how we live in our society with our friends, our family. Of course, we do not have this caste system anymore. I say with a very brave heart, but there is. We live with a lot of people around us. And how harmoniously can we live with different kinds of people? This we can see from the example that is given to us by nature. How nature thrives to live harmoniously with the different species. Or does one species really bloom at one time and it does not allow the others? Do you know that such events have also happened in nature? So if you talk of the human society, we had a lot of wars. Let's not mention anything specific. There are a lot of wars fought. There were a lot of wars fought. Many civilizations got destroyed, right? Did anything of this sort happen in nature? Yes, there were extinctions. Why? Because there must have been some kind of an imbalance or a sudden imbalance that was not being able to cope up with the then present situation. That is why some portions of nature did get wiped off. Some civilizations did get washed off. So at that particular point of time, there was no harmony. But we again, human beings, we learn from those situations and we try and bring back harmony. That is why we learn to say no to wars. That is why we say stop pollution. Why? Because these are the factors that have previously wiped off civilizations, wiped off species as well. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Our mission is to build a future in which human beings live in harmony with nature, right? If you have any questions to ask. So.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I have already shared the attendance link. Dear students, if you have any query or questions or any discussion, we can have discussion for around say 10 to 15 minutes, or else we'll close.
So they have nothing to ask, I think.
Yes, Swadesh sir, if you are here.
Yes, you
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, okay, very good discussion. You know, madam, you have spoken very, you have critically analyzed it. One thing I should say, the harmonizing, how the harmonizing come in reality, you know. So there is a natural harmony is there, I think that I feel from your lecture, about analysis, Another thing, how far the duty of a human being to maintain this harmonizing behavior, So I'm giving you an example and there is a rule in the nature, rule which is called ethics, So value is somewhat different. It is value is changing. Another rule is coming. That the harmonization is one thing that I feel is that the nature, every human being should try to maintain the harmony due to some interconnectiveness. Suppose I'm telling you one thing that is in Corona. Okay, we have nothing actually how Corona is coming. There is so many reasons, so many things are there. But how can you overcome it to maintain the harmony within our global arena? That is the duty, that is the responsibility of every human to maintain the harmonizing this. That I feel from this side, I think I take. So this is a good explanation you have done, and so many types of order you have explained here also. So if this order, I think some of the orders are in natural, and some of the order we want to maintain maintain in our society. Okay, human actually in family, in its society, or in the broader sense, in the human total human community. So main thing that is we have to maintain it. This maintaining, I think, the way of harmonizing the all things that I feel, so that I will request you to give some question to the students. Okay, they'll prepare, they'll think it, and they will. There is a session on Sunday. Every Sunday there will be a feedback session. What they will feel, they will realize they have achieved from this discussion. They will speak from their feedback, So I request to give some question. You have given one question, very good question. I have seen. I have listened, So if you speak the question will be prepared for that. They will be answering in the form of feedback, which will be taken on Sunday 4 to 5 p.m. Thank you.
So that is going to be before the next class?
Before next class, before Sunday. Okay. Every Sunday, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. There is the feedback session. Every Sunday we are arranging a feedback session. Maji sir will be present there. You may present also there. So I'll be there. The students who are in the class now, they will give their feedback. Okay. So what we have discussed, what you have actually explained very critical, very justly, you have explained what the effect of the students, what you have learned, what they have thought about that. It will be known at that feedback class. So very good session will be done. That's why I'll request you, if you can speak, just verbally, you can speak also some questions. So you'll think of regarding thinking.
Well, actually, today's was just an introduction. So next day, I hope to show some examples that we learned from nature. So there'll be some questions. So today I don't really have.
Okay, no problem.
Unless they have.
From this lecture, they will speak what they have learned, they have achieved. Okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you, madam. I request to you, if you kindly share the presentation, then I can share it to the students group. They prepare through their presentation, as well as they can access the materials of the Universal Human Values class of AICT also. And as talked by Swadesh sir, every Sunday at 4 to 5 p.m. Generally, all the interested students, along with me and Swadesh sir, and of course, all other faculty members, if they wish to, join in a feedback session where the students express their views or their learning on today, on this Wednesday's session rather. Right. So it will be kind enough if you share the presentation so that I can share it to the students in their respective
where do I share? I will share it to you in the email.
Yeah, ma'am. You give it to me via mail or WhatsApp. I'll share it in their students too.
Okay.
And regarding the order, as you have said, like human order, animal order, plant order, and physical order, of course you will be discussing in details hopefully later on in the next session. But students must know that all the units of the universe are generally categorized into 4 orders, and all the orders are of course interrelated. That is, human order cannot be complete without the help of physical order or plant order.
Right.
Similarly, plant order or animal order requires some inputs from human order or physical order. So it is the responsibility of all the orders, including human orders, to keep the other orders, that is physical order or plant order, intact. That is, we do not have the right to destroy the plants. We do not have the right to destroy the animal orders. Though for our living, we require animals. Chicken we are eating, plants we are eating for our existence. But at the same time, it is our duty to protect the depletion of plants, animals, and physical orders in the universe. So that is the essence of today's class. And of course, on Sunday's feedback session, we'll request Madam also to be a part, and we'll have your feedback. I have already shared the attendance link, and I can see around, say, 229 students have already responded in the attendance link, and I'll share the attendance. I'll stop the link at 7:30 p.m. sharp. So with this, we are concluding today's session. And on behalf of the university, I'll thank Professor Monua Banerjee ma'am to share her views to the students of JIS University. Thank you. Thanks, ma'am, and good night.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.